Hi guys, welcome back to another P3D version 5 video. We are today flying the Coolsky DC-9, donning the Allegheny livery. Not so hard to properly pronounce that, but I'll call it for Allegheny from now on. I think I need to use that also with the ATC, so let's see how it will go. And we're going to be flying down here from Burlington, so it's a freeware Burlington. There's only, I think, FSX scenery who has an airport that's like, it's pretty cheap but it doesn't look that good, so I thought freeware would be the best option for this one. And we'll be flying down here from Burlington to LaGuardia, New York. Not really sure how, or actually I do think I know how the approach is gonna go. They're probably gonna route us to Yo-Man at some point, hopefully. Yeah. So that looks good, and I think I've been able to fix so I don't get SIDS and stars, basically by choosing that you don't have GPS and RNAV capability. So I'm hoping this will work, but let's see. And I'll connect to the sim. The only reason why I already had it set up is because I already had all of this ready, but then I tried to use the Coolsky checklist and that crashed my sim. So let's not use the inbuilt checklist, as that might lead to problems. Yeah, and we don't really have anything started now either, so that's why we don't hear any radio. We'll start with the batteries. One cool thing that I've noticed, you have the working circuit breakers, so this really makes the airplane like one of the best in P3D, because there's not a lot of airplanes I can think of, like the Dash 8 maybe. Yeah, that one has, but it's only in the 2D panel. But this one, they work in the 3D one, and they actually work, right? So you can shut, you know, some of them and you won't have GPU, etc. It's very cool in that way. And let's see, we can open the main exit and get the ground power unit connected. Do we get that visually, or is it just a... Maybe it's just a connection. I need to learn how to, or maybe set up the GSX for that at some point. But we can connect these, make sure it works. See the fuel quantity stuff, that works. The fire ones work. Very good. We can do the emergency lights to arm, and we can put the position lights to on. Let's get some galley power on, and let's check where we have the... Here we go, the landing calculator or whatever. So I just want to have that one easily available for the takeoff, etc. But yeah, apart from that, I guess we can put these back. Not that much else to prepare. It's going to be a VOR flight, which are always fun to do. Or at least that's what I feel about it. And our first... Let's have a look actually. What's our first? It's BTV. Well, that's not too difficult to find. And it's a nav radio of 1175. And we are going to do a course of 202. So let's change the course. Can we do this in increments that are smaller? I hate that I can't use my... Or actually I can use it, but it's a bit... Yeah, it's too hard. I'm gonna use this one just to get it right. 202 will the course be. And I'm gonna check that we don't have the GPS or whatever it's called on. Let me see. Can I get it open, or is it... Well, yeah, hopefully not, at least. I don't think there's a GPS, but let's see. Haven't set, or at least haven't tried to set that up. You could probably put it in here, right, somehow, the GTN. But oh well, oh well. Let's check external power. Voltson, etc. looking good. We can start, I think, the boarding. Today, according to this dispatch, we have about 70. Or actually, this one should this one give us the amount of passengers? Apparently not. Here we can see actually the V1 speeds by changing the flap settings. We'll do flaps 5. 75 passengers, that's fine. Let's not do that many. We can put a bit fewer amounts. So and also with the Allegheny Airlines, they of course don't exist, so they don't anymore. They existed up until like 1979. Then they became U.S. Air and then U.S. Airways, and then of course American Airlines. So we'll just have to wing it in terms of, or I think we can maybe have U.S. Airways for the safety. That could be it. So we should be able to get some nice Pack X sounds. Let's have a look. DC-9 should be in here. We can do 50 passengers. That's fine. Boarding music. I doubt we have U.S. Airways for this one. We do not. So maybe we can use American. And then for the Pack X, we don't have Allegheny, so we will use the US Airways ones. There we go. And now we should get GSX boarding as well. Let's see, it's a bit hidden here. And I can't see... Hey, where's the cargo loaders? That's the question number 1. Maybe they're also hidden here within this building or something. But oh well, it could be worse, could be worse. At least the passengers are boarding, so that's good to see. In terms of our flight, what's the second one? It's 1143. So I'm gonna put it on the second VR, 1143. And can you actually switch between the VRs on these old planes? Interesting. Does that look better? Or does that... Yeah, maybe just a bit extra. Maybe not that one. That's fine. On. Guess we can have that off for the ME standby, but I'm trying to figure out if you can switch the input somehow. 'Cause that would of course be helpful. Not the end of the world if you can't, but oh well. The course will be relatively similar though, 200, so not a big issue. Let's actually go and change to... Trying to wonder what's the 80s for this one, because we would want to know that, right? So that's 123.8. Let's listen. We need that.
Local winds are 025 at 6 knots.
Barrow.
10,000 overcast. Temperature 6. Dew point -11. Current altimeter is 3010. Arriving and departing runway
Good.
33.
That's all we need. Okay, we don't have the right frequency for the ground clearance, but I do know it's 119.50 and Allegheny 4003, ready to copy, IFR clearance. Okay, let's see if we get...
Allegheny 4003 is cleared to Kilo Lima Golf Alpha climb via the BTV1 departure, then as filed. Expect departure runway tree. Climb to 6,000 feet via the departure. Expect higher
6,000
clear answers
feet.
2 minutes after departure. Burlington departure on 121.1.
Oh, here we can
Squawk 5125.
just test that one.
Allegheny 4003
Seems to work.
is
Is
cleared
this
to Kilo
light
Lima Golf
came
Alpha
on?
climb via the BTV1 departure, then is filed. Climb to
I guess
6,000
here's
feet via
standby.
the departure. Expect higher
I'm not
clearances
sure
2
actually what
minutes
this
after departure.
altimeter,
Burlington departure on 121.1.
but I guess it's for the
Squawk
for when it will
5125.
beep, right, and alert you.
Allegheny 4003, read back correct altimeter 3010, contact Burlington ground on 126.3 when ready for pushback.
At least have a bit of a modern altimeter, so you can see what altitude you're at. Yeah, let's see, they're still boarding. I need to fix some of these. Looks a bit weird when they're sticking up above the plane. And where did the goddamn cargo stuff go? Oh well, somewhere. Startup pump we're gonna need on. In terms of other information, what do we know about LaGuardia though? We can prepare that. It's not gonna be a long flight, this one. We're landing at 22 at the ILS. We're talking about a really low, I think around, how high does this go? It goes for 100. But is that like 10,000 or is that supposed to be? Is this exact? That's the $1,000,000 question, right? So is that 0 and 100? Let's do 0 then. It's basically quite close to that. What do we know about the landing? 308. That should do. Okay, and in terms of flaps, we only have to set the nose down. There's no other info. We of course have to set the flaps, but there's no specific settings in terms of the flaps, right? Oh, let me see if I switch these ones back. No specific settings. Okay. Being cautious or extra cautious. In terms of squawk, it was 5125. 5125. 5125. I'm gonna put this on so I don't forget it. Even though we shouldn't do it yet, but it's easy when you don't fly this often enough. I don't want to open the checklist because of my crash. It's easy to miss it as well. We should soon be done with boarding, so let's actually get going with the APU. No smoking can be on. Let's ask if they can expedite the boarding. And I think the Allegheny Airlines, they used to operate out of Pittsburgh mainly, right? So very like eastern, northeastern kind of focused airline. Pretty okay livery, kind of basic. I mean, it looks a bit old school, but nothing too bad. I've seen worse in other words.
We're ready to go when you are.
Okay, and all the boardings are completed. So I'm just gonna close all the doors. Let's have a look now. We have APU power available. APU air. Yeah, damp and empty skid. We can put those on. Does this one work? Okay, that works. That's nice. We can shut those buses.
Note the cabin door is now closed. We ask that you make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your larger devices are now shut down and stowed. If you have not already, please
I don't think we need to
fasten your
center
seatbelt.
pumps
Verify
because
that
we're
the
quite
level head across your
lightly
lap.
loaded.
Your tables and seatbacks must be in the full upright and locked position for departure. Cabin crew, prepare cabin for departure.
Let's operate the jetway. Undock that. Allegheny 4003. Ready for pushback. We're taking off from 33.
Pushback approved.
which
Pushback
is
approved Allegheny 4003.
it's very close by to us actually, so that's nice. Won't be a long taxi. And we got pushback approved, so that's perfect. Can we already see? Yeah, we can see it's a very short distance. It's good to be aware of. We should be getting the pushback very shortly, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there's the guy. So yeah, it's not the best. I haven't even put in the best photo reel here, as you can see, kind of blurry on the ground. Gets better once you're up in the air. Doesn't really work so well when you have these freeware airports, specifically like the really basic freeware ones.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Yeah, put the anti-collision lights on. The start ones, let's just get everything kind of ready already. The pneumatic levers. Let's have a look here. Did we get this up? We did. What about these ones? Low. That should go on. And then maybe high for the take off, right?
Bypass pin inserted.
Let's see, this one, this is just the instrument warning. Reset. Okay, they're inserting the bypass pins, that's good. Where's the TCAS system though? If we have this, oh maybe there isn't a TCAS actually. Me expecting modern abilities in an old plane. Windshield anti-fog and anti-ice is usually put on, right? And then that should be about it, right? Does the wipers work? We can do nose, right? Because we want to get down there for the takeoff.
Release parking brakes, please.
Let's park those. And we have pushback approved. Everything is set otherwise, apart from that. And then of course letting them know here that seatbelt signs on.
Release parking brakes, please.
Parking brake released.
Commencing push. All engines clear, start at will.
Okay, all engines clear, start at will.
Starting right engine.
And we can see the right engine starting to spool up. The RPMs are increasing. Let's make sure we're above 15. Coming up to 20.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the screen for an important safety demonstration.
There's that engine.
At this time, I'd like to direct your attention to the video.
It looks like it's starting. We're seeing increased exhaust temperatures, pressure ratio. Now we're getting the US Airways safety video, I guess. Quite loud. Yeah. We can see the fuel already decreasing. Sad days. And we'll start the left engine. Just make sure it starts increasing here on the RPM. We're above 10. Above 15. We can put the fuel. Let's put on the parking brakes. And let's check this one actually for the takeoff. We're doing a flaps 5 takeoff. Dispatch is telling us a weight of 86.2. So we can transfer to the Aussie bugs. So 121, 125, or 134. Shouldn't that be the? No, maybe it's just a bit Or maybe it's the slat ones, right? So this one is the V1, 134 is the V2. Okay. Let's put on the weather radar. Let's do the, let me check. Ram air is already on.
Thank you for your attention. We will be airborne shortly.
Put that to auto. Turn that off. Oh, sorry, I actually totally forgot to remove the ground power, so we have been carrying the invisible ground power with us. We don't actually need this air one anymore. We should taxi soon so we can put the nose lights on. Here, shut the bus. And the APU master. Probe heat, we can put those on. And let me see if anti-skid that's on. Stall is working. Normal. Okay. Okay, looks pretty good. Pretty decent. Let's have a look. The engines are rolling. Not 100% sure why the oh, maybe it's because the hydraulics aren't on. Let me check if I put these on too high. I'll close these pneumatic ones. And that's the spoilers. What about and no clue what's going on with those wings. Why are those down? Let's see if it affects anything in terms of flying itself, but hopefully not. We can put the servos on so we don't get into any problems there. Let's keep that on vertical. Actually not doing anything. And let me just think, is there anything else? No, we have all the info. Let's ask for taxi. Allegheny 4003, ready to taxi.
Allegheny 4003, taxi to runway tree.
Taxi to runway tree Allegheny 4003.
Okay, so we didn't get any clearance or similar for how to do this. Okay, let's see. Okay, so the easiest way is to just go right here. And let's see what we get once we get the takeoff clearance, right? Let me just check that we don't have any failures or similar on. That should all be fine. Anything else? We don't need a start pump, right? We can turn here. This looks pretty clear. Let's put on all the lights though. Let's see, we have air traffic. Did we have anything here? Nothing at Burlington? Oh well. Oh well, it could be worse. And let's think again a bit. Stabilizer, I think, can go on. And can we actually see from the inside if our different... Okay, we can see it. Oh, isn't that odd? That's... Why is that showing as a rudder? But oh well. For the autopilot. Interesting when I'm moving the yoke. Let's put a bit of a climb, like that sort of a pitch. That should be good enough, hopefully. Let's see when I...
Allegheny 4003
Well, basically we
contact
can
Burlington Tower on
take off from here, right?
Tower on 118.3 Allegheny 4003.
Okay. Allegheny 4003, ready for takeoff.
Allegheny 4003 winds are 025 at 6 knots. Runway tree cleared for takeoff, squawk 5125.
Okay, no info for how long until we can start turning, so I'm gonna use 1000 and then we'll turn left.
Allegheny 4003.
In terms of trim though, I don't think I got that info from the dispatch. I'd say 9.5 though. So that's quite a high trim setting. Can that actually be 9? Does it say it here? No. That seems crazy high for the trim. Takeoff 9.5. Oh, it does say that, but I'm gonna go a bit lower, I think. That feels crazy. Maybe 7 something. Should give us a pretty good result. Can we arm this one in any way? Nope. We don't have any... what do they call auto brakes either with this oldie, so that's something to keep in mind. Okay, so let's turn here. Do we have flaps set to 5 yet?
Slats extended.
No, we don't want to.
Flaps 15.
Not flaps 50.
Flaps 5.
Flaps 5 should be good. I hope at least. And let's see what else. I think that should be good enough actually. Let me just get straight on the line here, and then we can start getting prepared to take off. And talking about taking off with this one, we do need to check my documents for all the speed stuff, because I don't think we get... Actually we do get here, so we have EP takeoff 196, maximum continuous thrust. So the takeoff at 196 seems pretty reasonable. Nothing too crazy high. So let's put that data in here, and that's pretty cool, right? That you get it. But I doubt you'll get... Oh, we do have maximum continuous thrust, but will we get other EPR settings once we get higher, or... Because I doubt we will. And since that is the case, what I wanna do is steal the manual from... I'm just gonna move the manual actually, so I have it when I need it. Aircraft operating manual. Does this one have all the... Yeah, because this one has all that kind of tables, right? Long range cruise, what you need to know in terms of speed, EPR selections, etc. and 2 values. V1 speeds. Do we have short range cruises as well, or do we only have the long range? Well, I mean, could be good to check those as well, since we're going up to 28,000 feet. Maybe we can use the 29 one. I'm gonna move it down here, so it's not in the way. Okay. So, we'll need to turn to the left. Let's start pushing up the RPMs. At around 70. Okay, that's looking good. Let's get the pressure ratio set. Looking good. All the lights are on as they should be. That's good. Do we have enough runway? Oh, I sure hope so.
80 knots.
80 knots.
V1.
V1.
Rotate.
Rotate.
V2.
Okay. Now let's see if we can
Plus
get
10.
rotated. Looks pretty good. Let's get those gears up.
You're up and locked.
Okay, let's see soon.
Flaps retracted.
Is it the flaps? Yeah, it was the
Allegheny
flaps.
4003,
Okay,
turn
there you
left
go.
to heading 190, then direct to Burlington.
You can turn the nose lights off already.
Turn left to heading 190, then direct to Burlington Allegheny 4003.
190.
Allegheny 4003, climb and maintain 12,000 feet, contact Burlington
Okay,
departure
12,000
on
feet.
121.1.
Climb and maintain 12,000 feet departure on 121.1 Allegheny 4003.
We're climbing relatively nice, I would say. Pretty good pitch. Let's see if we can get on the VR. Can we change this one actually to, we can have heading, ILS and off, or NL.
Allegheny
Okay, let's
4003
continue turning.
climb and maintain flight level 180, contact Boston
180.
Center on 120.35.
So we're
Departure
getting
climbing
these
to 12,000 feet,
continuous
climb and maintain
clearances.
Flight level 180 center on 120.35.
Our co-pilot is taking care of.
4003.
Ah, but look at this.
Allegheny
Center on 120.35.
And now the
Allegheny
now the
4003.
ailerons are looking correct. It looks pretty good here with this with the photoreal, and I mean this is just ortho made by myself, right? Looks like pretty nice weather. And actually that's the thing I didn't check. God, I knew it was something. I was like, what haven't I checked? That's the weather. So we don't have, actually no, we do have some warnings for moderate icing. So we gotta pay a bit of attention to that. And let's see, we're soon gonna be above 10,000 feet. So let's turn those off. And the seatbelt signs. Do we get those automatically or do we need to do it?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now
Oh.
passing through 10,000 feet.
There we
Now
go.
turn on your larger portable electronic devices.
And
As a
let's see, it
reminder,
was
please
200.
fasten while you are seated and do not congregate
And
in
then
the
it was
alley or
1
laboratory.
11430. And let's see if we get anything on that. Can't see anything
The
yet.
flight crew has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign. You can have it up and move around the cabin. However, we ask that you keep your seatbelt fastened when seated in the unexpected
PWL 1143 at 200. I'm not sure why we aren't getting any signal yet. Is it that we're too far away, perhaps? Let me see now. We're above 10,000, so that's good at least. Could we switch it around somehow? So instead fly with the other one. Let me see if that would be even possible. So we know this one, right? And it should be behind us. But if we're flying kind of out away from it, right? Then we could do 200, and that should give us kind of the same function, right? And we're climbing now, so we want to go down a bit with the EPR. I'm not gonna say I know exactly, but like 186 might be good.
Allegheny 4003, good morning.
Oh, and let's make sure we don't climb like crazy. Jesus Christ.
Flight level 240.
That was a bit intense.
Climb and maintain flight level 240 Allegheny 4003.
Okay, let's see. I guess this one is showing us how to get on the localizer. Okay, I'm gonna try to trim this one out a bit. And let's see if we can get this one working. So, not heading mode. We wanna go nav mode. I wanna bring down the plane quite a bit. And can we see something on this other one just yet? Doesn't look like it, so let's keep an eye out, right? If it changes and we get some input.
Allegheny 4003, contact Boston Center
But
on
still nothing.
135.7.
Center on 135.7 Allegheny 4003.
Okay, DME is on. And how high were we able to climb? Flight level 180. Climb maintain flight level 240. So we're basically gonna go up to 28 already. So they gave us the climb. I totally missed that call actually. We're above 18,000, so we can go to barrel reference standard. I don't think we actually want to go much slower than this. Let me have a look again at what it's suggesting. Yeah, exactly. Look at that. We should go actually up, not down. So that's me being a bit overly cautious. So we need a higher pressure ratio to climb. Okay, and let's have a look now. We are climbing, following the VOR, but we're flying an outbound radial. While we are waiting for this one to pop up. And has it actually popped up now, or is that me doing wishful thinking? Let's see. It's looking pretty good. Looks very nice here with the ground. Maybe we could get a nice viewpoint for a nice. But it's too much clouds. Maybe something like this though could work. As the thumbnail of the video. Yeah, very bright though, so let's see. Okay, we're continuing to climb. Can't use SimBrief to check my waypoint, so that's a bit of a bummer. I can though use the in-game map. We are going to the next one is PVL. This one I want to check. There we go. So PVL is 114. It's a low altitude. Could that be the issue? So low altitude VR. Yeah, I mean it's usable up until 18,000 feet, so it's pretty much useless. Let's see if we have another one. we don't really, so we should basically fly on outbound radio until we've gone 147, and then we should turn to LaGuardia 1.
Allegheny 400, 3 climb and maintain flight level 280.
And now we got the 280.
280 Allegheny 4003.
Allegheny
Still think it's
400,
looking pretty
3
good.
good morning.
Considering our weight, which is pretty low, let's say around 84,000, we should have an EPR setting of, well, that depends on the outside temperature though. So let's actually have a look at the winds aloft. So we're looking at something around -47. So the EPR they're suggesting is 201, give or take. That could be pretty good. Let's climb a bit faster, but not crazy. I think we're around 201, right? I guess technically we could be a bit more on the climb, right? I'm gonna close that, sorry for that. Let's have a look. As you can see, it's mainly overcast. Let me see. Air icing, clear air. Without clouds, as well now. Let me see. Okay, I guess you can't technically get icing without clouds. You would need the clouds. We should have used it when we were climbing. There's actually a risk of severe icing. That's yeah, at around 200. I guess technically we just got above it, but yeah, we could have been in some bad icing conditions. The wind is also coming from the left a bit, or left and left. It's coming a bit, hitting us a bit from the right in terms of our speed. It's at trying to think north. It's a bit from the west, basically. Okay, we're soon up at where we want to be. We want to go into altitude hold, and the best way to do that is by pressing this one, if I'm not mistaken. We can prepare ourselves just a tiny bit so it's not too much of a shocker when we press altitude hold. Maybe even a bit more. Let's see, yeah, all the seatbelt signs etc. are done, and we are at our planned cruise level about just about now. There we go. So yeah, so far so good. Nothing seems to be missing. We have some nice weather. Guess is this stratus clouds, but yeah. So a pretty nice what do we call it, weather system around us. Let's keep an eye on the, because now we're actually a bit of a higher pressure ratio. We want to be down at 201. The only question I have though is what's the speed we're aiming for then? That's a
Allegheny
Mach of 6.
3 expect the ILS approach to runway 22 at
79.
LaGuardia Airport. Maintain flight level 280.
And our Mach.
Expect the ILS approach to runway 22, maintain flight level 280 Allegheny 4003.
That can't be. Wouldn't we have Mach
Allegheny
here?
400, 3 contact Boston Center on 123.75.
Center on 123.75
Looks like this one is following the
Allegheny
DME,
4003.
and we lost the other one as well, so that's not good. So let's try to follow the... let me just check if I can do this quickly. 143, we're still doing the nav. But I feel like we're not really following it anymore since we lost it. So what I'm wondering, the best thing might be to get... let me see if I can force it with this one.
In a few moments, we'll be starting our in-flight service. We will
It
be
feels
serving
like we're
complimentary
turning
snacks.
away from
Please look at the
our...
feedback for our list of complimentary and premium drinks. Premium drinks are available for a small charge.
something like that, right?
Please note that we only accept credit cards.
Center Allegheny 4003 level at flight level 280.
Allegheny
And I wanna
4003, good morning.
A bit to the right.
Allegheny 4003, you are off course. Turn right to heading 230 to return to course.
There we go.
Heading
230.
230 Allegheny 4003.
That's 1, that's 2, and that's 3. We're never gonna need to turn that much. But yeah, let's pay a bit of attention because we lost the VOR. I don't think there's any similar VOR close by. Let me have a look though. Oh, it's PVL. That's a low altitude one, right? Don't know why you get these low altitude ones that you can't really use anyway. It's always been a bit of a frustration. Let's turn a bit to the left. It's when you have these issues, it's nice to have Pi 30C so you at least can somewhat save the day. But I guess they'll let me know if I'm off. The next direct from LaGuardia is 205, which technically means we can already insert that. So 205 with a let's have a look. .205 at 113.
Allegheny 4003, you are off course. Turn
Yeah,
right
not
to heading
seeing
230
anything.
to return to course.
Heading 230 Allegheny 4003.
Allegheny 4003, contact Boston Center on 132.65.
Center on 132.65
Okay, they want us to turn a
Allegheny 4003.
bit more to the right. Let's follow them just to make sure we get somewhat back on course. So it doesn't take forever, right? And there we have another plane. Those clouds didn't look too good though. It's a bit of a hit and miss sometimes. It can really look like the best kind of Cirrus and Stratus, but then yeah, sometimes it just doesn't function as intended. Okay, we're now on heading mode. The pitch one should be 0, right? Technically. These ones should be turned off, right? And then on low, we don't need to have the hydraulic pressure. Small mistake on my end. In terms of our landing, we can already start planning that. 202 for the radio altimeter. Something like that should do it. We're talking about 224 in terms of course. And the localizer of 1110.5, which I already want to put here, so at least can double check that and verify. I guess we could technically also listen into the VORs, right? it's just a while since I did that. For example, with the ADFs and stuff, you could listen into that. Would be nice to do some ADF flying as well. Maybe I should do our own flight plan. We'll fly a bit of ADF, a bit of VR, etc., etc. Just mixing them up a bit. Pretty soon gonna be at our top of descent according to pilot TDC, so that's good to be aware of. Still here flying above the rest of the world. Have I flown Allegheny Airlines before? I don't think so, right? So I probably need to find a logo to use for the video. Let's see if I have something. Here we go. I'm gonna save that image. What the hell is a SVG file? Okay, maybe not that. We can just do a PNG. That's what we like. PNG files. I can do a bit of paint.net. But yeah, let's see how it goes. It's a very fun aircraft to fly, this one. I think I say that all the time I fly it, but it's just a very easy to fly kind of thing. Let's see if we have gotten any updates yet on the new VR. Nope, nothing. I hope it's not another low altitude one. That would suck. We're around 60 nautical miles after we're at PWL. So technically, right?
Contact Boston Center on 134.
Technically, it could be a low one.
Center level at
Because it
flight
should
level
be showing up
280,
already.
Center on 134.3, Allegheny 4003.
Allegheny 40.
Center on 134.3, Allegheny 4003.
But actually what we could do is check if the PWL one is working. So we could switch again. What's the PWL one? That's the 143 Look at that, now we're getting the signal on that one. So that's actually very good. Let's try to get onto that one. Yeah, and now we want to be at... Guess we haven't technically captured it, right? So that might... explain why it's taking a bit of time, but we should be getting at it. And then actually we do want to change this one to 1310.
Center Allegheny
Let's check if we're getting any signal, but not yet. Not yet.
Allegheny 4003 resume navigation.
We can actually continue flying away from it towards LaGuardia. We just do an outbound VR.
Allegheny 4003, good morning.
Have we gotten any descent clearance? Not yet. Maybe we should ask for one. Allegheny 4003. Request flight level 100. Maybe that was a bit too long. It probably won't catch that. But let's see. No luck thus far. Oh, we got
Allegheny 4003, descend and maintain 10,000 feet.
Descend and
speed-wise,
maintain
it's been
10,000 feet Allegheny 4003.
we've been pretty fast, but we've been below the red tape, so that's good. Let's really start to pull back. We'll put 10,000 here. We'll do vertical. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we'll descend with a speed of 2,000 feet per minute. We need to throttle back even more, I think, so we don't overspeed. We're already past the VUR of PWL, and we got the other one now, so we could actually switch to that, and it should give us the same. Yeah, look at that. There we go. So kind of the same. We're going to be turning a bit to the left now. Still need to throttle down quite a bit. So we are going pretty close to the red tape now. We'll switch this one to 110.5, so we can see when it starts picking that one up. We have about 8 minutes to go, which seems crazy low. Why haven't we gotten the descent clearance sooner? Now we need to actually descend. And actually, I think the best way to do this is are we still following the... Yeah, we're now turning back in. It starts ping-ponging a bit with the VR. I find it a bit odd. The question is, what does this one do? Maker sensor? No clue, no clue. Let's check landing. So we have lost about 4,000. We'll be around. We'll probably lose a bit more. Let's try this. Let's do a full flaps 50, 119 actually, yeah. Okay, let's keep that in mind. Okay, let's see, we're still descending. I'm gonna add a bit of speed brakes now. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. The speed brake should hopefully get us slow us down, right, so we can gain back some of that important time that we need. Let's see what they want us for the approach. They probably want us quite low. Okay, we're gonna increase a bit our descent rate. We wanna be at 5,000. We only got 10,000 though, so I'm hoping we can get a lower. Allegheny 4003, request altimeter. Does that work? Guess we could have asked the co-pilot to do the altimeter check. Let's see if he... Oh yeah, now I know. Allegheny 4003, say altimeter.
Allegheny 4003, altimeter 3006.
3006.
Altimeter 3006, Allegheny 4003.
Allegheny 4003, altimeter is 3008. You are 27 nautical miles northeast of the airport. Altimeter 3008 descend and maintain 3,000 feet clear direct
Okay, they
Yeoman,
really
then cleared
want
for the
us to
ILS
get
approach to
down
runway 22 at LaGuardia
3,000
Airport.
feet.
Contact New York approach on 120.8.
Let's put in a bit more
Altimeter 3008
speed brakes
altimeter
and
is
increase
3008
again.
altimeter 3008 descend and maintain 3,000 feet cleared direct Yeoman, then cleared for the ILS approach to runway 22 at LaGuardia Airport. Approach on 120.8, Allegheny 4003.
I don't know why they gave us like very late kind of the descent. I mean, I had to ask them to get the descent right. It would have been super high, so it makes no sense actually. But oh well. Now let's see, I guess we're in New York now, so this should actually be the mega scenery in New York or something of that sort. Actually it doesn't look that, it looks too crispy almost. Then I have, I guess, the autogen from the real world scenery. Okay, let's see, we have about 10,000 to go till we reach, but I think we should be getting soon our approach, hopefully. We have the ILS now. Still nothing, still nothing. Gotta love how we're not getting any clearance or similar. Let's actually put on the anti-ice. So I guess we're in the clouds technically, right? We're a bit below 20,000, but can't be too certain. What should it be? It should be 224. Okay, so 224. If we put that in as the course. Let's turn into that actually. We're way too high. We really need to get down. Let's put these on. I guess 2,000 is where we want to go. I don't know why they just cleared us for the ILS approach, but I guess that means we can just go straight to it, right? I'm gonna assume that means that's what it means. Okay, let's see. 10 nautical miles. It feels like we are way high actually to be able to achieve this. One way could be to do a loop. I'm not sure we have that as a request.
Allegheny 4003 altimeter 3008 at LaGuardia Airport. Contact LaGuardia Tower on 118.7.
Approach descending to 3,000 feet altimeter 3008 tower on 118.7, Allegheny 4003.
Allegheny
Tower on 118.7 Allegheny 4003.
Yeah, look, that would have been where we wanted to land at. We're way too high. I still don't see how we're gonna make that. Let's make another turn. Maybe that will give us the chance, right, to rectify this situation. Sorry, wanna do that. That's their landing where we're supposed to be landing. A very nice one actually. Yeah, I like Pilot TDC, but sometimes they just don't do the approaches very well. But I thought they have been doing them quite well now as of late, so a bit surprised actually. Yeah, let's halt our descent a bit. I guess technically we should have gone mist, but this should do the trick just as well. let's continue to throttle down a bit and to decrease our descent rate. Luckily there's no fog or similar, this would have been a bit more hairy in that case. Don't want to get down too low. Basically there's the airport, so just have to fly like this for a bit. I'll add a bit of thrust, we're going quite slow now. 190, we're kind of on the edge of what we can fly without stalling. As we wait, we can put that on. We can ask the seatbelt signs to be put on, but I guess they did that.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, this is your first
Okay, we haven't flown too crazy, that's good news.
And we should be on the ground soon.
So 224, we have the information. If it's a missed approach, it's just straight on 225. Okay, so let's start turning in, and we need to slow down again.
Tower Allegheny 4003 inbound for ILS approach runway 22.
Allegheny
Oh, we
4003,
turned
good
way
morning,
too late
continue
actually.
ILS to runway 22 call when established on final.
Continue ILS runway 22 will call when established on final Allegheny 4003.
Can we even make this
Allegheny
if we turn enough?
4003 slowed to 250 knots or less.
Wilco Allegheny
Technically,
4003.
we almost can, but it would be quite hard to be honest. God damn, why did I turn so not enough to be honest? Okay, we'll continue.
Slats extended.
I'll go to slats. Yeah, I can only blame myself for that, for not really handling that correctly. Okay, let's see, maybe we can get on the... We need to descend a bit faster though. So we are almost a bit high. So let's turn a bit more drastically.
Flaps 5. Gear down and lock.
I managed again to mess that one up. Let's get on the approach mode. Oh no, it's going on heading. We're gonna overshoot again in this.
Localizer capture.
Okay, localizer capture, that's good.
15.
Let's see, approach mode. Why am I having... I wanna be on ILS, we wanna have that on. Okay, I'm gonna take control here. We were way too high, that's probably the issue.
Flaps 25. Flaps 50.
We have another plane landing in front of us. Let me see if I can even get us down. I just want to see if the autopilot works. We're gonna fight a bit old school. Let me see if we can.
1,000 feet.
It's now an approach. So let's see if this works. Does it try to maintain the... Yes, it does. Okay, very good. I'm gonna add a bit of thrust so we don't descend too quickly. I'm gonna arm the speed brake. The light should have gone on a long time ago. Looks like we're a bit kind
Allegheny
of
4003
to the
winds
right.
at 202 at 13 knots, gusting to 19 knots. Cleared to land runway 22.
Clear to land runway 22 Allegheny 4003.
Okay, we got landing clearance. I'm gonna do manual controls. Okay, let's see. Still same. Seems to say that we're a bit below.
300 feet.
Ah,
200 feet.
good. That one is. Okay, we're below. We're below. We don't want to hit into that. Now let's check.
100 feet.
100 feet. Come on. Oh, that
50.
looked like wind shear almost.
30.
Allegheny 4003 exit runway when able. Report clear of action.
Okay, a bit of a bounce. Not the best landing we've done, but should be good enough. Almost on the center line. And there we have some Metro Air. Let's land and park here to the right next to this Metro Air one.
Flaps up. Slack
Ladies
the track.
and gentlemen, welcome to New York. The local time is 11:30
So yeah, a bit of a bad
a.m.,
approach.
and it's currently about 57 degrees Fahrenheit.
But I'm gonna blame Pilot 280C. If I could just trust them ever, I always have I don't want to have it open, right? Because I want to believe that they can kind of get you down on time, etc. But they just sometimes keep you high like crazy. It's like no sense. I guess a bit similar to real life, but that happens from time to time. But it's kind of extreme, right? We should have been like 10,000 feet lower at the point we started descending. So yeah, that was a bit annoying, but oh well. Let's just turn here into what's it, gate number 3. We didn't even shut any of these lights that we should have, the wing lights. Plus we should have started the APU as well. Let's turn quite a bit to the left. And now maybe we can come in a bit smoother.
Parking brake set.
I'm sorry man, but we can't go much further. We'll basically be...
Parking brake release.
Oh, is this for large planes? That's interesting.
Parking brake set.
So what do we have here? A340, 787. I guess technically they could be here, but this seems really tight of an area to park these giants, but oh well. Let's see then. Do we have APU yet? Not yet, but we'll have soon enough. Very soon. There we go. We can put those on. APU air. Shut these ones. Then I guess we can. I don't think we need that, right, to be as high. Then we'll shut those. Oh no. Oh, there we go. Just the buses, right? Popping a bit. But okay, and let's have a look at Pilot 280C. No, sorry, not Pilot 280C. Pack X. Maybe it will work when we open the door. Seems to be the catalysator for some of them. 232 extreme flying conditions. Yeah, at least at the end, I guess. So not the best landing rate, unfortunately. But let's have a look at the replay and just see if we can get any visor.
Localizer capture.
Yeah, it's a bit hard with these older planes. I mean, this one does handle, I think, exactly how it would handle kind of in real life in terms of the autopilot. It means it's a very rudimentary autopilot, but it's of course annoying when you get Pilot 280C to kind of badly handle you on the approach, and then you butcher the descent. Should have used, for example, speed brakes much earlier. Now we didn't even get to enjoy the nice views of New York. And landing into the nice Imagine Sim LaGuardia. Okay, let's see. I'm still a bit bummed that I bought the FS Dream Team JFK, even though it's supposed to be better, but I just hate the fact like when you're landing or something you can't see that properly. And let's see what we're now at, 285. Let's change that so we can get a bit closer. I think that was pretty fine, the rest of the approach. We were a bit low.
Don't think. Don't think.
Yes, yes, don't think. Don't think.
Don't think. Don't think. Don't think. Don't think.
But it looks very
Don't
good.
think.
The Imagine
Don't
Sim one,
think.
this one, so I don't mind that I
think.
got that version instead of
Don't
the
think.
Kruzvecki one, the
Don't
DD one.
think. Don't think.
But yeah, the JFK
Don't
maybe.
think.
I'm gonna get the new work
Don't
one
think.
though at some point.
Don't think.
Okay, let's see.
Don't think.
It looks pretty okay, but we get a bit too eager to pull up here at the end, so we start floating. And then the risk is that we now we hit with the back ones, but I tried to flare a bit late. Okay, fine, a bit of a bounce. Could have been worse, but we made it. We made it down.
60 knots.
So good enough, I would say. But yeah, that was a relatively short video, 1 hour and 20 minutes. But hopefully you enjoyed it. At least I did, apart from maybe the end approach, not getting that one right with Pilot ADC. But I'm happy though that I figured out how to get rid of the SIDs and stars. But hopefully that wasn't the reason why it didn't really vector me in to anyway. But I guess they gave me kind of a final. I guess the only thing they didn't do was give me the right descent clearances on time. But oh well, you can't get it all. But if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave it down below. And otherwise, until next time, bye bye.